Volcanion was able to get top 8 in a Regulation J Grassroots tournament hosted in Japan, and we're going to be trying out Asolva's Volcanion and seeing how well it can perform. This is a very aggressive hyper offense team that features Volcanion with Calyx, Shadow, Smeargle, Dondozo mode. Let's break it down. Alright, first up we have the Leftovers Dondozo with the Unaware ability that prevents it from getting affected by the opponent's stat changes, as well as the Fairy Terra type, which is just really good into Dark Urshifu, a great defensive type in general, helps make it immune to Dragon type moves, especially that Miraidon Draco Meteor, and more. Wave Crash, Body Press, Substitute Protect. We all know that I'm not the biggest fan of Dondozo, but Dondozo just makes a lot of sense on this composition. It really helps out against a few Pokemon that can be a bit annoying. Specifically, like, it's good into Zamazenta, it's good into the Arceus and Calyx Shadow teams, because a lot of them tend to have like setup mons like the Shadow Rider and Arceus, like Swords Dance Nasty Plot. But Dondozo with really big defense is really just able to sponge up those attacks pretty well with a good amount of special defense, and with the impish nature, it's really just ignores the boost. It can just go for a body press and wave crash and get some pretty heavy damage off. It is a pretty effective mon that can be really hard for those kinds of teams to handle, so it makes a ton of sense to me. It's also great into like Cali Ice and a bunch of other mons, and of course you do force like a lot of situations where you have a Dondozo lead with a partner, and if they get the call wrong, they could just be put in a terrible spot. Granted, the same, of course, it is a double-edged sword. EV spread wise, we have a pretty fast Dondozo, 228 speed, that does allow you to outspeed base 100s after getting a +2 from the Tatsugiri boost. A good amount of special defense, because you do need to be able to take like Astral Barrages and other attacks pretty well. You have a lot of defense for the remainder, 84 with a positive nature, just so your body press is still doing a good amount of damage initially, because you don't have an order up from a defense booster, which is pretty important to note. And then the rest is just going to go into HP and attack. You get a bit of extra leftovers recovery, but really the main part of this is just the fact that Dondozo is really here just to be able to chip away at your opponent's team and stick around, because you really want to invest in defenses with Dondozo than the HP, because it already has a really high base HP, so the calcs really matter when it's more into the actual defenses instead. And that's why you want to make sure that it has a good amount of special attack, because it is on the lower side, and still have a good amount of defense, especially for that body press damage. But across the board, it is an annoying Pokemon. We all know how this mon does in VGC. Next Pokemon to pair up with the Dondozo is of course going to be the Commander Choice Scarf Tatsugiri with the Dragon Terra type, just to power up its Dragon type moves even further, specifically that Draco Meteor with Muddy Water, Draco Meteor, Icy Wind, and Surf. The Surf really only being there just in case you really need an accurate water type move in the end game, or just an accurate move to clean up the game in general. With Muddy Water as a spread water type move, Draco Meteor, really strong Dragon type move, and Icy Wind for the speed control, because it can matter in some situations, of course, especially against like maybe Miraidons and more. But the EV spread, pretty simple. It's just max speed, max special attack. It is a Choice Scarf Tatsugiri that is designed, hey, if Dondozo goes down, at least the Tatsugiri can outspeed some threats and fire off the remaining damage. And that is what the Tatsugiri does paired with this Dondozo. It was attack booster because you don't want to reveal that you have body press if you're using the defense raise Tatsugiri form. Next Pokemon we have is the Choice Specs Calyx Shadow Rider with the As One ability and the Ghost Terra type to power up its Ghost type moves even further with Astral Barrage, Psychic, Pollen Puff, and Shadow Ball. A very offensive Calyx Shadow Rider just forces a lot of situations immediately, and if you get the turn right, you can just blow up the opponent's side, which is awesome to see. With the Astral Barrage and Shadow Ball getting boosted by that Choice Specs and the Ghost Terra option, the Shadow Ball, of course, is able to play around Wide Guard, which is very useful. And the Astral Barrage spread, Ghost type move, what else to say about it? Psychic instead of Expanding Force, because you don't have Entity on the team, and that extra bit of damage can matter in certain situations, especially against the Arceus. And then Pollen Puff to be able to hit to the Dark Terra type Calyx Shadow Riders, Dark types in general, like Darkrai, and of course being able to heal your ally, which is probably less likely, but there are some situations where it can come into play. EV spread wise, very simple, just max special attack, max speed. I think you kind of see the vision of just fast damage output. Next Pokemon we have is the Focus Sash Moody Smeargle, which of course does raise a random stat by 2 stages at the cost of lowering a random stat by 1 stage, with the Ghost Terra type to help out against Fake Out, of course, and any fighting moves with Spore, Follow Me, Wide Guard, Fake Out. It's a pretty standard Smeargle. It just plays so many mind games. Moody, of course, can just be very, very hard to handle, especially if you get a speed boost with Smeargle, and it can really just snowball out of control, as well as just you know, it's being Smeargle. There are so many mind games on top, and Moody can just definitely swing, especially because of the spore pressure. EV spread wise, it's pretty simple. You do have a max defense Smeargle to take on the physical hits better, like Fake Out and priority moves that are pretty common, like Ice Shard and more. You have max speed with a Jolly Nature, just of course being fast, because otherwise Smeargle stats aren't the greatest. So you want to be able to have the fast spore. That's what Smeargle loves to do. And that's pretty much the idea of Smeargle. Just a very big disruptive mon, especially next to Shadow Rider, can create a lot of mind games with the spore pressure, the follow me and fake out support, as well as the wide guard mind game against opposing Shadow Rider and spread moves. Next Pokemon we have is the Assault Vest Volcanion with the Water Absorb ability, allowing it to heal when it's hit by a water type attack, with the Fairy Terra type, a great defensive typing, as I mentioned before on Dondozo, with the Steam Eruption, Heat Wave, Terra Blast, and Earth Power. Across the board, it is a really interesting mod. I have used it before in doubles, but that was back in Gen 6 doubles OU. So it's been a while since I've used Volcanion. It has a really great special attack and physical defense with solid HP and special defense. So it is a great mod. It's like not as restricted level territory, but it has a really solid typing and ability combination that just makes it great. Fire and water coverage is fantastic coverage across the board. And it is able to do quite a solid amount of damage with the Steam Eruption and Heat Wave, especially with Earth Power coverage, which is also awesome. And the Terra Blast, Terra Fairy, really good type coverage across the board for Volcanion here. And yeah, it just is able to do well into Kyogre teams, which is much appreciated on this team. It's able to hit Pokemon like Zamazenta, Miraidon, and a bunch of other Pokemon just for super effective damage. So it can definitely be a really prime attacker, especially just being able to take attacks with that Assault Vest and its really good natural defenses. So EV spread wise, 28 speed with a modest nature. I don't think there's anything too crazy. There's no speed control on this team, so I think it was just a remainder with 12 special defense, 236 special attack, because you still want a good amount of special attack, because 130 is a good amount of special attack in general, or a good special attack stat. However, it's not like crazy levels when we compare it to a restricted format, so you still want to invest in a lot of special attack to get those knockouts or those two shots. You have a good amount of HP with 204 HP investment, and then the rest going 28 defense. Across the board, the Volcanion takes a lot of hits with the massive amount of HP investment and does a lot of damage with the special attack investment. Not much to say here. It's got an interesting typing. We'll see if it is actually worth using in this format when there are so many powerful Pokemon in this format. Final Pokemon on this team is the Choice Band Dragonite with the multi-scale ability, which of course reduces the damage that Dragonite takes by half if it's at full HP, with the normal Terra type to power up its extreme speed, but also be immune to the Calyx Shadow Ash Barrage and the Moongeist Beam from Lunala, with extreme speed, low kick, Rock Slide, and Iron Head. Definitely an interesting Dragonite set. Rock Slide being able to, I guess, just pressure Pokemon like Volcarona and like Fire Mons in general. The low kick makes sense because it's able to hit Zamazenta and especially the normal type Arceus in this format. Extreme speed, of course, for the really strong Terra normal extreme speed combo, which is really, really difficult, especially in an end game. And then the Iron Head to be able to, I guess, hit Fluttermane and other Fairy Terra types. EV spread wise, this is just max HP, basically max attack, a little bit extra into the speed off the HP, but I guess that's just because you don't really want an even HP stat for the Super Fang Calyx if necessary, or like Ruination Calyx, and speed creep any 4-speed Dragonites. Across the board, it is just a very heavy hitter that can do a good amount of damage. Plays well with Dondozo. The extreme speed is really hard, especially with the Shadow Rider combination of extreme speed plus the Astral Barrage can be very hard to handle in a late game scenario. So how to use the team? I'd say the main lead of this team you're going to be leading is going to be the Calyx Shower plus Smeargle. The combination of the Choice Specs Calyx Shower that can just blow up mons immediately, the Fake Out plus Wide Guard, Follow Me, and Spore combinations that Smeargle offers, it's just absurd. And then you can just use it so you can set up for a good late game clean with the rest of your Pokemon. It is very effective here. You also have different leads, of course. You can lead with Dondozo, anything with Dondozo really other than Tatsugiri, because you want to play that mind game of switching the Tatsugiri in and then getting a really big hit off with Dondozo so they can't recover from it is pretty nice. And you also have other leads, of course, with Calyx Shatter plus the Volcanion, Calyx Shatter plus the Dragonite, Dragonite plus Volcanion, Smeargle pretty much with anything can be effective too. it can be a thing. And of course, you do have the Tatsugiri Volcanion, where if the Volcanion is able to just wall most of your opponent's team, that Surf combination with Tatsugiri being able to heal the Volcanion with the Water Absorb is something that you do have an option towards. But in a lot of cases, you're going to be trying to get a lot of mind games right to set up for Calyx Shadow Rider or Dragonite to be in a really good spot, especially. And then those are going to be your heavy hitters. Volcanion can be a really good wall against certain teams. And the same thing with Dondozo. And Dondozo, of course, does play those mind games. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about Volcanion? Because I thought it was a really cool mon, and unfortunately, like Keldeo, it just wasn't allowed in VGC because it was a hard to get mythical Pokemon, and I think it could have been used in non-legendary formats as well, because I felt like Volcanion, it does have some pretty absurd stats, but I don't think it's like the most insane mon out there. However, we'll see how well it's going to be able to perform in this video. And of course, I have used it in Doubles OU before, and it was pretty solid. I wouldn't say it was broken, but it was pretty solid in Gen 6 Doubles OU, which was, again, the last time I played with Volcanion. Let me know in the comments down below, but let's get started and play some games. All right, we have Arceus, Darkrai, Entity, Whimsicott, Incineroar, and Rillaboom. Usually the Darkrai teams have Gravity, and Whimsicott doesn't get Gravity. Entity, does it get Gravity? I can't remember. Arceus, I think, does get access to Gravity, so it should be interesting to see here. I'm kind of curious on what I want to lead. I'm a bit scared of the Arceus, but I can't tell if it's going to be the normal set because you have Entity, so I probably would say you are unlikely to. So I'm kind of curious on what it is going to be. I think Smeargle is pretty good. Do I want to go with just real Dondozo mode? I think I'm going to try the others instead. I think I'm just going to try out Shadow Rider Calyx plus the Smeargle with the Volcanion and the Dragonite in the back. The problem is the Terra is a bit weird here. I think I have to see the Arceus Terra before acting, but yeah, I think that 4 is fine. I don't really like Dondozo Tatsugiri in this game because like Body Press can definitely threaten the Darkrai, but it's not like super necessary. I'm kind of curious. Encore, Whimsicott's annoying. They also have Rillaboom, Incin. We're gonna see Darkrai plus the Arceus immediately. Okay. Versus Smeargle and the Calyx. This could be a very interesting game. Are you Sash Darkrai or you like Wildlands or something? I kind of want to catch them off guard with a Pollen Puff, so I kind of want to actually just go for Sporn to the Arceus and I go for Pollen Puff. The reason I want to go for that is because they could make an Entity play if they have it, which is definitely something that they could go for to avoid a fake out. But okay, that's not the case. I do get Pollen Puff in the Darkrai immediately, and I just one-shot the Darkrai. So Darkrai goes down immediately. Very solid. As that's no Dark Void. Did they Gravity? Cosmic Power. Okay. Oh, how did I break through that? I don't know how I break through that. If it's Cosmic Power, wait, that's a problem. I don't know how I'm breaking through that. I mean, I did get a +1, but I'm kind of forced to switch out, right? Special defense boost. If I had Decorate, this would be easier. Speedfall is not pleasant. Okay. Where are they bringing out? I guess I had to brute force the Arceus somehow. Wait, is that normal typing or is that fire typing? Rillaboom coming in. Okay. Sure. No, it is normal typing. I don't know why. It looked red a bit, but okay. We're going to switch out to Smeargle. We're going to go on a Dragonite, and I think we're just going to go for Pollen Puff into the Rillaboom. Because I'm kind of curious if +1 Pollen Puff can KO the Rillaboom. As we go out in the Dragonite, they go for Terastallization. So is this Rillaboom? Okay, so we forced Terastallization from Rillaboom into Poison. Okay. That means Arceus can't Terra, but it makes sense because like they don't really need Arceus Terra unless it was a good offensive type. We do go for the Pollen Puff. Does some decent damage. Arceus takes its first turn, which is great. And they go for U-turn immediately. So that is really solid. They didn't know if I was like Sash or if I was a Spec. So they didn't want to Woodhammer risk it. That's really nice, actually. So what's coming in? Incineroar? Okay. I think I could just Terra Normal. Do I want to Terra Normal E-Speed? Because I'm -1. I don't think it's ever worth it. I think I'm just going to go for a... I think I just double switch. I think I'm doing Smeargle for the Dragonite slot, and I'm just going to go Volcanion. Because I can threaten Fake Out on Arceus the next turn and Steam Eruption the Incineroar, which seems pretty nice. I just got to figure out how I'm beating Arceus. Like, Arceus is going to be tough, but I think it's manageable. We bring out the Smeargle. Arceus stays asleep, which is nice. They probably went for a knockoff into Shadow Rider. Beautiful. We don't need our Assault Vest in this game, or at least I don't think we do. We don't know the Arceus set still, but granted, that is a pretty good turn. Special defense boost and special attack fall. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know how we're breaking through the Arceus, but granted, we do have tools. I'm going to go for a Spore into Arceus, and I'm going to Steam Eruption the Incineroar. I'm going to Spore because I'd rather, if they wake up, I'd rather get a Spore off. Because the thing is, if I Fake Out the Arceus, like, then they get Rillaboom in, and then they could Fake Out, and then I don't get to sleep, so I think I'd rather just get the Spore off. Dude, how am I breaking through this Arceus, man? I could timer stall, but I have no idea what the rest of the moves are. Oh my goodness. Really? Seriously, man? Alrighty, Volcanion stocks are super down. Super down. Rillaboom. Oh, Rillaboom's faster than my Volcanion, which is interesting. That KO? Well, actually, no. My Volcanion's slow, but that's not great. I guess we're just going to go Dragonite and Steam Eruption the Rillaboom. That's bad, though. That's bad. But I have no idea if they're just going to click Fake Out to stall out a turn, which I could definitely see. But they also got to worry about Spore, but I don't want to lose my Sash on the Smeargle. Okay, yeah, they did go for Fake Out into Dragonite, which is really good for me because I get a free Steam Eruption, and then I could probably go for, like, a double up into Rilla the next turn. Okay, we do hit this one. That does nothing. I mean, that's probably Assault Vest, so that makes sense. I wish we had Stomping Tantrum here. I have no idea what my Terra is going to be. I guess we just spam Terra normal E speed and we go for Steam Eruption into the Rilla. I think that's the best play. I'm pretty sure Terra normal is just going to blow back the Rilla, and if they switch to Instant, I got them with the double up. So let's see. Bring in the Dragonite, Terra Extreme Speed. I mean, I have low kick for the Arceus, but I don't know how much damage it does. Yeah, I get good damage into the Rilla, so Rilla goes down. And then you wake up. No, you stay asleep. Good. They don't. Well, they know I'm multi-scale and they know that I'm not inner focus. Wow. Volcanion. Man. I get my multi-scale back, which is nice, but Volcanion stocks are not great. I'm just going to say that much. Instant comes in. I don't know if you're Rocky Helmet, but I'm just going to go for Extreme Speed and I'm going to go for Steam Eruption. I need to start threatening the I need to get rid of everything around Arceus and then try to brute force Arceus. I wish I had Trick. If I had Trick, this would have made it a lot easier on my Calyx Shadow, but I don't. They stay asleep, which is good. Steam Eruption comes out in the instant. At Okos. Okay, we get crit. Okay, you know what? I'm taking it at this point. I'm taking it at this point. After missing 2 Steam Eruptions, I'll take it. No, the second one really didn't matter. The first one was kind of nice. But yeah, now we're in a great spot. I'm going to Heart Swap. I'm going to go on a Smeargle. I think I just double switch here. Yeah, I just double switch. Into Shadow Rider and Smeargle. I still don't know what this Arceus set is, but we'll figure it out. I can also timer stall, but It's only been like 8 minutes into the match, so I highly doubt I really want to play this out for 12 minutes. But I will if I have to, but I just don't know the Arceus. Did they they did tear the Rilla, so I don't have to worry about Terra on the Arceus. They wake up. Cosmic power again. Okay. Like, I have pretty easy like timer stallish lines to deal with because I have fake outs that I can go for, plus psychic, and I also have pollen puff because pollen puff actually helps with the rest of my team. But I am gonna go for fake out, and I'm just gonna go for psychic. Because we can also fish for special defense boost. Unless this is Covert Cloak. Are you Covert Cloak? No way. Yeah, I didn't think so. Attack boost and defense. Okay. Spore into Psychic. Psychic is also not doing the worst damage. So, like, it depends on Arceus sleep turns, but it doesn't seem too bad here. They go for Body Press. Ooh, interesting. Okay. We do get that Focus Sash on deck, and we do get a Spore off. And I think we have a guaranteed win here. What Arceus item is this? Like, it's not Cloak. It's not Leftovers. What set is this? Leftovers Body Press doesn't sound bad, though. I'm going to go Dragonite, and I'm going to click Psychic. Because then I can go for Extreme Speed into Psychic the next turn, and that should KO the Arceus. We do take the win. Okay, nice. All right, Volcanion. You need to lock in, buddy. Because that wasn't the best showcasing from you. I'm just going to say that. Sandy Shocks, Groudon, Entei, Urshifu, Darkrai, and Typhlosion. Okay, this is probably some speed booster photosynthesis. Why can't I remember the name? Sandy Shocks with gravity. Okay, that's fine. I think Shadow Rider Smeargle is a pretty good lead here. Yeah, it's a pretty good lead in general. Wish Tatsu was faster, but it's okay. We bring Volcanion, and I think we bring the Dragonite back. I still think that this match is probably okay, but it depends on the Terra on the Sandy Shocks. Like, it also depends on if they have Electroweb as well. There's some Terra Ghost angles. The item on the Darkrai is going to be important. Yeah, there's like a lot that could go right or could go wrong. We'll find out which one it is, but hopefully it goes right for us here. There's so many things that we could do with Fake Out Pressure. We have Follow Me redirection, Wide Guard for the Eruption. I'm kind of curious on if there's a Scarf Mon. Like, maybe there's Typhlosion Scarf on this team, but it could be Specs. I'm just not 100% certain. Also, it's really interesting to see Kanto Typhlosion. The Kanto Typhlosion is just faster than Hisuian Typhlosion. That extra bit of speed against like Urshifu and some other stuff in that range does make a lot of sense here. So let's see. Like, I feel like if you're running Kanto Typhlosion, you're probably running Specs, right? Because I feel like if you're Scarf, why not just go Hisuian Typhlosion? But we see Darkrai and Sandy Shocks. So are you Speed Booster on the Sandy Shocks? Like, okay, it wasn't Sash. Okay, interesting. That works out for me. I'm just gonna Spore the Sandy Shocks because I'm not risking Terra Ghost here, and I'm just gonna click Pollen Puff in the Darkrai. If they have Electroweb, they have Electroweb, but I think they're probably just gonna go for the Gravity stuff. I guess I could Wide Guard if I want, but of course I do get threat to my Dark Pulse, so like, why not just go for the Pollen Puff? Yeah, they go for the Gravity shenanigans. Shadow Eye should be faster. They're probably not expecting Pollen Puff either, which can OHKO Darkrai if it's not Sash. Yep, I just KO'd Darkrai. And Darkrai goes down. Beautiful. And here's a Spore into Sandy Shocks. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. All right, Sandy Shocks asleep. Our position's very nice. Speed Rise is also... that turn couldn't have worked out more perfectly. That turn actually couldn't have worked out more perfectly. Could even go into Groudon? If we go Groudon, I'm Sporing the Groudon. I probably want to Pollen Puff the Sandy Shocks to put an extreme speed range. Ursh, is this water or dark? Dark. Okay. If that's the case, my best play is just to Spore the Ursh and swap out into Volcanion. Yeah, because I don't need I mean, Terra Fairy Volcanion's really good here. Yeah, I think I go for a Terra Fairy game plan with Volcanion. Like, the game's nowhere near over, but it's looking pretty good for us. They detect too, so I can Spore them guaranteed the next turn, which is awesome. As I Spore the Ursh. And I'm faster than Sandy Shocks confirmed, which is nice. Special attack raise and speedfall. Okay, so I'm probably slower than Sandy Shocks, but I should be faster than Urshifu still. I'm just gonna go for Steam Eruption into the Sandy Shocks and Spore the Ursh. Because I think that's the best play no matter what. Because I want to threaten the Sandy Shocks, like get rid of it so they don't have like fast E-Web later in the game to threaten my Shadow Rider. So they Terra the Ursh into Terra Dark. Perfect. That means Groudon can no longer Terra, which is also nice. So I don't have to worry about like Terra Fire Heat Crash. The Terra Fairy is just really good here. Maybe they went for a Sucker Punch attempt. They might have went for a Sucker Punch attempt, but Volcanion does Terra into Terra Fairy. And we are pretty good here because we don't take any damage from the Sandy Shocks or the Ursh. They went for Protect with... Oh, no. The Sandy Shocks was guaranteed first, so we don't know. We got to Spore off into the Ursh. I guess in case they follow us, click and follow me. I'm not too sure about the Terra Dark here. But this is pretty good. Unless they have Sleep Talk for some reason, but I doubt it. Yeah. Steam Eruption going to come out into the Sandy Shocks. Take the knockout into the Sandy Shocks. And now I can go for Spore and Terra Blast into the Urshifu. Like I Spore the other slot. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking really nice. Because once I get the Ursh into range of Extreme Speed from Dragonite, I'm assuming it's Sash, I just win the game. So we click Spore into the Groudon. We click Terra Blast into the Ursh. And Volcanion, Dragonite plus Shadow Rider should easily win. So I get Spore off into the Groudon. Unless for some reason there's like some crazy text here. Ursh stays asleep. Groudon taking its first turn. And here is a Terra Fairy Terra Blast. So we can't even risk a miss here. And then I think I just want damage into the Groudon, right? Yeah. Here gets another Moody. Cool. I guess we spam Wide Guard because we don't have to follow me in this situation. I'm just going to go for Steam Eruption into the Groudon and Wide Guard. They either went for Sucker Punch or Detect, which is fine because I didn't target the Ursh. I went for Wide Guard in case they went for Precipice Blades Detect and they got the double Wake. But even then, like, they still can't win. Groudon asleep. If we hit the Steam Eruption, we should just guarantee here. I guess, like, the thing is, I keep thinking that this is a Walking Wake signature move, and it's not. But we can't miss. Oh, yeah, we can't miss because of gravity. They used to have gravity, and I was like, yeah, it was just so irrelevant in this game that I just completely forgot it existed. But, like, at the same time, like, I just win, right? I should have clicked Heat Wave that last turn. That definitely was a mistake. But at this point, like, what can they do? I click Follow Me, and I click... Like, I literally just win. If I click E-Speed with Dragonite, I just win. They can't do anything. Detect? Yeah. There's really nothing they can do here. As I Follow Me. Because I just want to bring in Dragonite. Groudon stays asleep. Terra Blast Okos it. Because I don't think that's Assault Vest. I think it would have taken this Steam Eruption way more. Or Hydro Steam. That's the move. That's the move. Hydro Steam. That's what I was thinking. Like, that's why I thought Steam Eruption would do more. But I mean, granted, like, perfectly, like, it's fine here. Like, here's the thing. That turn one was just so uphill. Or just put me at the top of the hill, and my opponent was basically like below the bottom. That's the starting point. So yeah, there's not much they can do. I mean, will they get an attack off? Stay tuned and find out. They're probably just gonna forfeit. The only thing they got off was detect and gravity. That was all they did. That was all they accomplished this entire game, was detect and gravity. As we get to Terra Blast, Oko to Ursh did not take a single hit point of damage. If this was a challenge, that would have been something that I accomplished today. Goodbye, Ursh, and we take the win. Beautiful. Like, Volcanion was really good there. I kept confusing Steam Eruption though for Hydro Steam there, but granted, it didn't really matter. I was up so ahead on the turn 1, and then like, yeah, I just was able to brute force through my opponent's team pretty easily. All right, we have Fluttermane, Incineroar, Brute Bonnet, Rillaboom, Koraidon, Calyx, Ice Rider. Interesting. So Calyx, Ice Rider, Koraidon was picking up towards the Regulation I end of the World Championship. We don't really have the Bonnet, which is probably the more interesting choice here. Okay, what am I bringing against this? Is this a Dozo game? I don't want to bring Dozo, but I will if I have to. Volcanion is actually really good here. Volcanion is pretty good here. Do I bring Smeargle? I don't need Smeargle. It's nice, but it's not necessary. They have double grass, but I have sub Dozo, which should be good enough. I think I'm gonna go with Shadow Rider. I kind of want to play a mind game because Fluttermane plus Koraidon seems a bit annoying. I think I'm gonna lead the Dondozo Volcanion lead with Tatsu and Shadow Rider back. I'm not even gonna use Dondozo Tatsu like the most effectively. I'm just gonna literally try to use it in order to force like in order to just break through the Fluttermane. Because if I get rid of Fluttermane, I feel like Shadow Rider plus Volcanion has a great time. So let's see. Rillaboom Koraidon's not a lead I expected. Okay. It's Dondozo and the Volcanion. Sure. They would hammer immediately. I'm kind of concerned they would hammer immediately. I wish I led Shadow Rider now. I didn't expect him not to lead Fluttermane, but okay. I think I will go Shadow Rider and risk it. Because I don't think, unless they go for close combat with hammer, I don't see them doubling up the Volcanion like that. They also have to very much respect the Tatsu play, right? Like me switching to Tatsu and just attacking immediately. So there's like mind games that I do have anyway with this combo that I think work out. I don't need Dozo to win this game, so it's fine regardless. Who do I Terra? Probably the Shadow Rider. I could Terra the Dozo, but it's not necessary. All right, let's see what they did, because there's no protects. Is there a fake out? Okay, perfect. You fake out Dozo. Show me close combat. Or collision course. Either's fine. Nice. Nice. Okay. Good turn. Good turn. I'm willing to just go for substitute with Dozo. Because I think Volcanion's in a really good spot. And I mean really good spot. I'm going to go for Terra Ghost, Astral Barrage, and substitute. Because I have the Tatsu mind game, but they also have to respect the Shadow Rider. So there's like a lot of mind games that I'm playing. I'm just going to go all in right here because I could see Koraidon protect and then they go for like Woodhammer, but that's fine. I'm okay with that because then I get a free switch to Tatsu. They do protect the Koraidon, which is beautiful. They have to get the call right, and I don't mind losing Dozo here. They go for Grassy Glide. That did 94. I think I'm gonna be out of range. Am I gonna be out of range after the next one? We'll see. That's also a lot of attack on Rillaboom. Good damage on the Rilla. And substitute is set up for free. Nice. Okay, awesome. I am in range of Grassy Glide, unfortunately, so I do have to switch out. I don't have Order up, unfortunately, which... I mean, I wouldn't be able to hit the Flutter, so I guess that's fine. We're gonna go for a Body Press into the Rillaboom, and we're gonna swap out a Nagiri, I think. Yeah. And that's fine by me. Because we get rid of one of their resources, which I think is pretty important here. Body Press covers every switch besides the hard into... It covers every switch besides hard into Flutter Main. I don't even know if they brought Flutter at this point, but I assume they didn't bring Cali Ice, but we'll see. Go into Geary and get the Commander. This is probably Grassy Glide and then Collision Course. That's what I assume here. They retreat to Koraidon. Okay. Into what? Bonnet? I wish I body pressed that slot now, but that's fine. Who are you targeting with Grassy Glide? Ooh, double switch. It's not Flutter, is it? I'm assuming you didn't bring Flutter at this point. Oh, you did bring Flutter. Okay, good play on their part. It gets awkward. Very awkward. All right. We'll play an interesting game, I suppose. We'll play an interesting game, I suppose. There's 2 turns of Sunlight. I'm going to protect the Dozo. And then next turn, I'm going to sub. Yeah, that's a play. So I can avoid the Spore. And then once Sun is stalled, I can body press direct into Bonnet. It's been a while since I've done Dondozo stuff. Moonblast, that's fine. And Spore, yep. Unless Moonblast doesn't break the sub, which I'd be very shocked by. I'm gonna sub though. They go for Moonblast. Stalling out the Sun for body press damage is nice. Oh, wait, that didn't break the sub. That didn't break the sub. Okay, Sunlight fades. I'm clicking sub again. I don't know if they're going to Seed Bomb here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they Spore here. And then if they do, I can Wave Crash direct into Flutter, or I could body press a Bonnet twice. All right, get that sub up. Nice. Okay, really good turn. Really good turn. Now I guess I protect. I mean, this is not... No, I body press immediately. Actually, I prefer body press immediately because there's a chance to go Rilla, but they go for a Moonblast. Okay. Now I get good damage in a Bonnet because this is +2 body press, which will do a ton of damage to Bonnet. Yeah, that's a 2-shot. Wait, what? They just saw the Moonblast damage the last turn. I don't get why they Sport again. That works out for me pretty well. Okay. Are we going to be able to force Terastallization from the Bonnet? Because they might Terastallize here. I'm clicking sub. Wait, they just would have let me body press the Bonnet? What? Okay. Maybe it's a roll? I know they click Spore again. I'm like pretty confident they click Spore again here. Yep. How did I know? How did I know? The way that they're playing this. Okay, works out. I'm just gonna body press the bonnet, I suppose, now, because I pretty much just get good damage into whatever can come in. I don't know why they've been doing this. They go for sucker, which is fine, because if I get rid of bonnet, I don't have to worry about spore pressure anymore, which is nice. Moonblast, if that breaks my sub, that's okay with the sucker. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I would have probably preferred Wave Crash into Flutter, but this is still pretty good. I get rid of Bonnet, which is a fantastic knockout. And if they go Rillaboom, I get a bunch of recovery with Grassy Terrain lefties. I guess they could Icy Wind Woodhammer, but I don't think that would KO Dozo. So, yeah. I just need them to KO. Ideally, the position is we just set up a nice spot to set up for my Volcanion to do well. They go Koraidon here, which is perfect. Okay. Because I don't think they're ever going to try to flame charge. So they're going to just try to collision course right aggressively. I protect to get lefties. If they go into Rillaboom, it doesn't really change much. So that's fine. And then I just Wave Crash to Flutter. Like spam Wave Crash into Flutter is super ideal. Is this Stellar Terra or Fairy Terra from the Flutter? Wait, why would you ever... Oh, I guess they never saw that I have Wave Crash. I guess they think I'm order up. Okay, that's fine. I have Wave Crash, but... I mean, they're also weak to Volcanion now with Steam Eruption. Moonblast. Collision. Yep. I think I Wave Crash the Flutter always. Because I think the Flutter, breaking the Sash on Flutter is more important to me. Yeah. Wave Crash the Flutter. I guess if I get rid of Koraidon, that's also decent. But yeah, Moonblast doesn't do that much, as you see. Collision Course. I mean, it is a lot. Maybe I should have just body pressed or sub to stall. Brings it down to Sash, which is insane. Okay. All right, this is not bad. Depends on how many turns of Sun are left. 3, I protect. They can't flame charge themselves. I am worried. Moonblast doesn't KO my Dozo, so they could flame charge, I guess, but that's fine. They only have 1 turn of Sun. Volcanion is looking really good to clean up in the back. Ooh, good play on their part. Good play. That gives me Grassy Terrain and Leftovers. So I don't know if this is actually that good for you, now that I think about it. Oh, their Scale Shot. That changes a lot. Wait, no, that's still fine. Okay. You're gonna Grassy Glide and Scale Shot, I assume? No, that's fine. Yeah, they're running out of Sun turns. I body pressed the Rillaboom, I think, always. They go for Fake Out, but I mean, if they Fake Out Scale Shot, they lose to Sun Power. And if you miss, that's really bad for you. Okay. I mean, that was a knocking out Dozo, I'm pretty sure. And now what? I just got this leftover Grassy Terrain recovery. I would protect the next turn. Then Sun is out. Like, I feel like I'm in a fine spot, realistically. Even if that hit, I think it was still in an okay spot. It's not like the best spot, but like, it's fine. Because I have very defensive Dozo. Yeah, because now what's stopping me from protecting here? Scale Shot. And Woodhammer, yep. Sun fades, and now they got to get a play right. They got to call who the Dozo's targeting between me Wave Crashing the Koraidon and me Body Pressing the Rilla. I think I always Wave Crash the Dozo, or Wave Crash the Koraidon. Yeah, I think I always Wave Crash the Koraidon. Like, I could Body Press the Rilla, but I think, like, protect Koraidon and switch into Flutter Mane makes a lot of sense for a pivot. Oh, no. Wait, but that works out huge because they didn't Grassy Glide. Scale Shot, as you can see, is not doing much damage. It wouldn't have done that much more damage with the Sun Boost anyway. Actually, maybe a bit. I guess it depends on if they got a 4-hitter or a 5-hitter. But yeah, now they lose Koraidon. And now I think the game is set. Because now they lose to Volcanion guaranteed. So we take that. As Dozo takes so much recoil. And Woodhammer comes out into my Dozo. Dozo's going to go down. But yeah, now at this point, I just bring out my Volcanion. And as long as Volcanion doesn't like miss a bunch of moves, and I mean a bunch of moves, I should have the game sealed. Fluttermane comes in. I just go for Icy Wind Heat Wave, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Icy Wind Heat Wave. Like, this is the last one to Grassy, so I'm pretty sure they can't win because Shadow Rider with Terra Ghost Astral Barrage just blows up everything unless it's a Sunny Day Flutter and they dodge like every attack here. But yeah, Volcanion should clean this up. Icy Wind, we connect with both, so that is fortunate. We do get rid of the Flutter. The Rilla is low, and now I get a Heat Wave KO into the Rilla. Definitely could have been an interesting game depending on like if, of course, they hit the Scale Shot earlier, how many hits they got. Was I in Grassy Glide range? But I was still trying to figure out if I had a good game plan with like endgame, Tatsu, Shadow Rider, and my Volcanion. Because I still think Volcanion was pretty hard for them to deal with in general, especially when the sun faded. So I'm kind of curious, but I mean, we will absolutely take it. So very nice. All right, we have Kyogre, Amoonguss, Zamazenta, Yvesangelist, Scarlet, and Zebstrika. This is a team that Ryota used in Regulation I and got Tom 100 Stadium Ladder. We've actually featured this team in Regulation I. It is not Regulation I, though. Actually, Volcanion's really good against this team. How did they beat Volcanion? They don't beat Volcanion really well. Yeah, this one's a problem for them. Oh, but it's Terra Water on this Zamazenta, right? I think it's Terra Water Zamazenta, so I got to keep that in mind. Granted, I don't see a problem with just leading Smeargle plus the Volcanion right away, so I think I'm going to lead that. I think we definitely bring Shadow Rider for the Zama because that's the biggest threat. Am I bringing Tatsu or am I bringing Dragonite? Both are decent here. I feel like the answer is Tatsu. I think the answer is Tatsu. Just to pressure the Zamazenta more. Because I think that if there's any Pokemon that's going to Terra, it's going to be the Zamazenta. And then having to deal with Terra Water is going to be rough. So I think that's the best angle. We're going to see Amoonguss plus the Yvesangelist. Okay. Versus Smeargle and the Volcanion. I wish I had Decorate immediately because I could go for Decorate. But this is still not like a terrible position. You get the Speed Booster. I mean, I wish I just like Calyx Shadow Rider Smeargle because I'd just be able to click Psychic immediately. Alright, we're clicking Fake Out into the Jugulus and we're clicking Heat Wave, I suppose. There's not really any other moves I would click. They're not hard switching Kyogre in this position. It's Scarf Kyogre too, right? Yeah, it's Scarf Kyogre on this team. And it should be Zamazenta back. Oh, they retreat the Amoonguss. Is this Kyogre? I'm shocked. Okay. I guess they're scared of like overheat or something. Okay, that makes sense. Get a free fake out into the Yvesangelist and the Heat Wave, so I'll take the free damage. Like free damage is free damage. Moody, defense, and speed. Okay. I have no idea what they're clicking here, though. I think our play is just to Spore the Yvesangelist and go out in a Tatsugiri. I don't know if they double the Smeargle. Like, I really don't know. They could click a Water move. They could go for Thunder. It's kind of a weird spot. But I'm just going to go out in a Tatsu and try to Spore the Jugulus. They just click Spout? Oh, did they click Spout Snarl? Like, I could have just wide guarded and been fine. Oh, they just Hurricane. Okay. It's not ideal, but it's fine, I suppose. Was the Jugulus fast on this team? It's definitely faster than Scarf Tatsu. We're going out into our Volcanion again. I mean, the Kyogre can't do anything to us, so we always just go for Steam Eruption, and we're going to go for Icy Wind. Yeah. This might get rough, but I think this is still pretty okay. No, that's rough, actually. Wait, no, they just stayed in a water spout. What? Okay. Surprising. Why'd you crit the Tatsu? Please someone not snarl right. They Hurricane. Wait, what are they? Okay. A lot of damage, but that's cool. We get the Icy Wind off. Fantastic. And now we KO Jugulus, which is the biggest threat to my Shadow Rider. Okay. Good. We get rid of Iron Jugulus. That Pokemon was such a pain for my Shadow Rider. Like, oh my goodness, that Pokemon was menacing, but perfect. This is Amoonguss coming in. Does he have Rain up? Unless you want to go hard Zamazenta, which I'd be shocked by, but I guess you could go for it. I guess I should have just Terra Fairy'd my thing earlier. Okay, they do go into Zamazenta. Fine. I'm just gonna go for Steam Eruption, and I think I'm just gonna hard switch into Shadow Rider. There's no way you Water Spout. Do you not know the ability on... Well, you know the ability. You saw the ability on the Water Spout. You should be switching out Kyogre into... They didn't switch... Oh, no, wait, no. Tatsu's faster than the Kyogre because I Icy Wind Speed Drop. There should always be Amoonguss coming in, and then they either Body Press or something else with their Zamazenta. Maybe Iron Defense, but I think this is probably Body Press. Yeah, they switch out. Perfect. Into Amoonguss. Beautiful. And the Terra Fairy is going to come in clutch here. Because now we are resistant to Body Press and we get good damage. Also, they didn't tear the Zamazenta, which is crazy to me. Yeah, they just Body Pressed. Okay, perfect. We hit the Steam Eruption in rain. Big damage. Oh my goodness. Good damage. Good damage. Are they Bash or Heavy Slam? I think my best play is still to Steam Eruption and Psychic. I got Pollen Buff here. They probably Rage Powder, right? I think I just Psychic. They're gonna Terra. Is this Amoonguss or is this the Zamazenta? This is the Amoonguss. Okay, good play on their part. Oh, wait, it was Terra Dark? I didn't remember it being Terra Dark. Wait, that's bad. Well, this could be bad or this could be fine. They Protect. Are they... Oh, wait, they have to Sport Volcanion here, right? I'm like pretty sure you have to Sport Volcanion. Oh, they Spore Shadow Rider. Okay, wait, they gave me opportunities. Sun fades or rain fades, right? Yeah, so now I threaten the Heat Wave. So this is kind of an interesting spot. Because if I get the Heat Wave off and I'm switching out in a Tatsu here, I should be fine. Because if they try to Wide Guard, this is such a weird play because they have to call whether I'm going to go for the KO into Zamazenta, which move though. Like, I could go for Earth Power. I could go for Steam Eruption. I could go for a bunch. They go for Rage Powder. This wasn't Bash, right? Like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Bash. Yeah, it's Heavy Slam. Perfect. KOs the Tatsu on the switch in, but that's fine. I get the free Heat Wave off. And I KO the Zamazenta, and I do tons of damage to Amoonguss. Beautiful. All right, this is really good because if the Kyogre locks into a water move, it's game over. They have to go into Thunder, and Thunder shouldn't knock out Volcanion. And if I get the Terra Blast off into Amoonguss, I win the game. That is awesome. So we're gonna go for Terra Blast into the Amoonguss, and we're gonna go for, well, we have to, it doesn't matter because we're asleep for this turns, but we're gonna try to Astral Barrage. Amoonguss can protect though, which is the annoying part. But I still think Shadow Rider can easily win, depending on the sleep rolls. Thunder comes out. They didn't protect either. I do live the Thunder with Assault Vest. Okay, perfect. We should KO the Amoonguss with Terra Blast, and then that should be game. Well, I mean, there's still like a lot of RNG factors that could happen here, but we're in a pretty good chance because Thunder should be like a 3-shot in a Calyx. All I need is to get an Astral Barrage off. Maybe single target Choice Specs Astral Barrage doesn't KO the Kyogre even with the bit of chip damage. But yeah, we go for Terra Blast and we go for Astral. We go for Thunder into the Volcanion. Let's see. I think it just comes down to Calyx sleep turns and also like the Thunder, how much it does. Should be a 3-shot. All right, that's turn 2 sleep. If I take a 3-turn sleep, it gets ugly. I might lose if it's a 3-turn, so we'll see. Thunder. Okay, yeah, it's a 3-shot. Okay, we wake up. That's huge. Do we KO? If we don't KO, it's gonna come down to the next turn. Okay, we don't KO. Comes down to crit or para from the Thunder. If we dodge those, we win. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Very scary game. Very scary game. I forgot a few of the sets on this team, but across the board was able to take advantage of being able to get a good amount. Like Yvesangelist is actually kind of tough for the team because Snarl is really annoying and the Hurricane also does a ton of damage. So wasn't the easiest. Also was a little bit surprised to see Zama mainly. Well, I think they needed Zama, right? Because they couldn't really break through my Dozo otherwise. Well, here's the thing. Zama makes the Dozo part worse, but I guess you have like Thunder, Kyogre, plus Hurricane, Yvesangelist, and Spore Amoonguss. So I guess the Dozo would have been fine if you did bring it, or if I did bring it. I didn't decide to because I opted for Volcanion, try to win the game that way, and I thought it was working out. And I don't know if Dragonite was still better. I mean, Dragonite better than Tatsugiri. I think Tatsugiri was good though. Like the threat of the Draco Meteor was still pretty impactful. Although I might have had a bit more offensive coverage against the Yvesangelist, which would have helped. But across the board, I feel like the mons were good. Maybe I could have executed the game better, but still able to pull out the win. All right, we have Mew, Calyx, Shadow Rider, Rillaboom, Urshifu, Smeargle, Torn. Kind of curious on what the Mew does here, so I'm very interested. Let's go with Smeargle, Shadow Rider, Volcanion, and Dragonite back. I don't really like the Dozo mode in this because I have no idea what the Mew set is, but Mew gets pretty much every single move, so I got to figure out like what the Mew has access to, or not every single move, but every single TM. So there are so many different sets. I'm kind of curious. Mew does get also access to Transform if I'm not mistaken, so that's could be something that could be a factor where they transform into their Shadow Rider and maybe have support with the Mew. So I gotta watch out for that actually. Okay, we're Shadow Rider, Smeargle. What Shadow Rider are you? Are you Okay, you're max speed Shadow Rider, which is dangerous already. Okay. Do I want a hard call like a Terra Dark is a question. I don't need Terra Fairy on Volcanion. I don't need Terra Normal if I KO the Shadow Rider. I think my best play is to Terra Ghost Wide Guard and just Pollen Puff immediately into their Shadow Rider. Because they might fake out my Smeargle and go for Astral immediately. And if that's the case, the Terra is going to make the most sense. They didn't go for that, it looks like, so that's unfortunate. But what did the Smeargle go for? Fake out? Oh, they made a protect. Is this protect Spore? No way. Oh, they fake out protect or scouting. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know. You lose a lot of momentum by playing passively depending on the situation, but if they think I'm like spec Shadow Rider, I guess that makes sense. Pollen Puff fails. Okay. attack raise, and that's a bad Moody. It is. Oh my god. Oh, you can't be serious, man. Oh, that's so bad. If we're training spores, we're training spores. That's so bad. I got like the unluckiest Moody. They got the luckiest Moody. They switched out to Shadow Rider, which is interesting. Into Mew? Oh, Torn. Okay. They spore my Shadow Rider, so at least I get a spore off into Torn. I mean, we're kind of just playing the wake-up game, but at least I stayed in a turn, which is actually kind of helpful. They still haven't broken Sash on the Smeargle, which is nice. But yeah, here's a spore, because like they weren't probably going to Astro. I thought they were just going to Psychic my Smeargle, but that works out pretty well. Dog. Well, I got a speed boost, but I still don't outspeed their Shadow Rider, so not the most useful, but yeah. We're gonna spore their Smeargle. We're gonna burn turns of sleep. We're gonna burn a bunch of turns of sleep. The Torn switching out directly into the Shadow Rider, I assume. That's smart of them. Oh, they went Mew for some reason. Okay, what's the Mew doing? Spore into Smeargle. Do we wake up with Shadow Rider? I actually hope we don't. I'm hoping that I can get a double... Okay, cool. I'm actually hoping I can get a double wake up situation the next turn so I can pin the Smeargle. Special defense boost and special attack fall. That's fine. Defense and speed. So I'm neutral speed basically. Yeah, okay. We're gonna spore the Smeargle and we're gonna go for Pollen Puff into the Smeargle because we need to break Sash on Smeargle. Follow Me gonna come out, okay. What did Mew click? We wake up, which is beautiful. That's step one of the process. If Smeargle wakes up, we're in a great spot, I'd assume. Imprison. Oh, do you have Pollen Puff? We don't wake up, unfortunately, which is not great. Special attack boost and special defense fall. Speed boost and special defense fall. Okay. What moves can I even look at? Well, I can Follow Me, but I know Mew doesn't get Follow Me. I can spore the Mew, and I guess I'm gonna Pollen Puff the... Well, I'm not locked, so what moves are they trying to trap? Because I don't know. Oh, they're gonna transform into my Shadow Rider. Okay. Well, that's the case. I should just go Dragonite first. Yeah, I should go Dragonite first. So they're gonna imprison and then transform, so they have the imprison tech on deck still. Okay, that makes sense. You see a Terra, which is interesting. Is this Terra on the Smeargle? No, it's Terra on the Mew. Grass? Dark. Why? Okay. Spore comes out in the Shadow Rider. This has to be Spore into the... Or transform, right? Into the Dragonite slot. Smeargle stays asleep. Okay. Yeah, they did transform. And their Terra Dark Dragonite. Definitely an interesting situation. So my Dragonite can't use any moves. So I'm either forced to switch or struggle, which isn't ideal. But like they don't have access to extreme speed onto my Smeargle, which is nice. I'm also like +2 defense, which is really good. So I'm just going to spore the Smeargle slot and I'm going to swap out into Volcanion, I think. They're probably going to Rock Slide Spore, I imagine, but that's fine. Wait, they followed me? I guess they didn't want their Mew to take damage, but that's beautiful for me. Yeah, because I'm pretty much guaranteed to wake up here. I get the Spore off in a Smeargle. Okay, wait, this is nice. This is very nice. Is a Rock Slide. Cool. Special defense boost, speed fall, special attack boost, defense fall. I just get a spore and a Dragonite now. Yeah, I can just spore the Dragonite. We spore the Mew, which is the Dragonite, and we click Steam Eruption into the Smeargle. I could Heat Wave, but I would want to break Sash. I'm pretty sure. Wait, are they +2 or +3? They're +2. I'm pretty sure Heat Wave KOs Smeargle. Especially if they're max defense and not max HP. I'm pretty sure Heat Wave KOs Smeargle from Volcanion. They switch out to Smeargle. Interesting. Into what? Shadow Rider. Okay. I spored a Torn earlier, so that's not a problem. They're going to swap out in a Torn, but they're guaranteed to sleep here. Sure. A Spore. And we get a Heat Wave off. That is good damage because we crit the Shadow Rider. Wait, we burn, which is not great. That's not a great burn. That is not a great burn because now we can't spore it. And we got the speed. Well, I guess like that actually works because we got speed dropped. So we wouldn't outspeed the Shadow Rider. This game has definitely been something. I'll say that much. All right, let's wide guard here. We wide guard and we click Heat Wave. Yeah. The reason we Heat Wave is because if they switch out into... Oh, wait. It's not like Ditto's in the back. It's Mew. They Astral Barrage anyway, so this works out. Like, I was always wide guarding here because I can't Spore. And, like, the worst they could do is Psychic, but it doesn't KO because I have Assault Vest on Volcanion. Might not even KO the Smeargle depending on the Shadow Rider because they don't have much. Heat Wave comes out. I don't KO the Shadow Rider, but I do get the KO. I think I probably should have thought about that more, but its Steam Eruption would have KO'd. But I mean, with the burn, like it did anyway, so I guess. Otherwise, I would, if I didn't get the burn, I definitely would have Steam Eruption the next turn. But yeah, this works out perfectly. So is this Mew coming out? I mean, it's Terra Dark Mew. Like, what are they going to do? Yeah, Mew comes in. I just go for Spore and I go for a Heat Wave again. I don't see a problem with that because I don't see what they can really do with the Mew. Yeah, I can't really see what they can go for. They could go for Imprison Lock, but they get Spored and then I get a Heat Wave off. My Smeargle goes before Volcanion, so that's fine. They go for Protect, okay. But they didn't get the Imprison. Like, I'm not giving them my Shadow Rider because if they copy my Shadow Rider, that's like their only chance of winning. Torn was it guaranteed to stay asleep there? I don't remember, but Bleakwind wasn't KOing anyway. Heat Wave was going to KO the Torn. Unless they crit, I guess, the Bleakwind. But they have to land Bleakwind and crit, which is a lot to ask for. So I get rid of the Torn. Beautiful. Then it's Smeargle last. Speed Rise, okay. We love Smeargle. We love Smeargle. Trust me, if you thought Regulation I and Regulation G were tough with Smeargle, Regulation I seems worse. Like, look at this Smeargle. And now I go for Spore into the Mew, and I go for Earth Power. I go for Earth Power just to make sure I don't miss the Smeargle. Now gonna be forfeit. Yeah, they can't really win that position because even if Mew transforms, it doesn't really win against anything. Because if they copy Volcanion, they lose to Dragonite that I have in the back, and I still have Shadow Rider around. And as long as I KO the Smeargle, the Mew cannot win. And they can't break through Smeargle or like the Volcanion at this point. So interesting tech on the Mew. The Imprison and Transform is definitely funny. I'm glad I remembered it, but yeah. We were able to take advantage of that. Nice. Arceus, Miraidon, Grimmsnarl, Farigiraf, Incineroar, and the Qianpao. Definitely going to be an interesting case. I don't know if I really want to bring Dondozo. I'm assuming this is Terra Normal Arceus. It's kind of surprising though. Is it? I mean, it's probably Terra Normal and then probably, or it's probably the normal Arceus. It could be Terra Ghost for this. I don't know. Their Zamazenta matchup doesn't look amazing here. But what do I want to lead? Because I'm not a big fan of Dondozo mode realistically in this. I mean, this is going to be tough because they have for Rigraft that blocks priority. They have a bunch of things that are kind of annoying for this. I think I'm just leading my Smeargle plus my Shadow Rider just for immediate damage, and then Volcanion Dragonite in the back. If I bring Dondozo mode, it's really, I don't think, good here. Like Electro Drift does a ton of damage. I'd just rather not bring it realistically. Also, Parting Shot cycles are not exactly fun, although I don't think they bring... they could bring Grim, I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. Smeargle seems like a pretty good lead with the power of the Spec Shadow Rider that can just draw off a really strong hit. We're going to see Incineroar Miraidon, okay? Versus Smeargle and Shadow Rider. I am willing to just go for Astral Barrage and Fake Out, and if they go for Rig, like, there's not much I can do anyway. I could follow me here, but not really worth it. Because if they just stay into Fake Out to Smeargle, it's not a good time. I need to get rid of the Miraidon as soon as possible. Dealing with the Arceus is also tough. I'm kind of curious on what they have in the back, though. It might not be Farrig. It could be like Xianpao Arceus back. So I'm just going to click Fake Out, and I'm just going to click Astral Barrage. I'm just going to let the attacks rip immediately. Because I need the damage. I don't think I could really waste my Terra. We're going to see the Miraidon retreat. Is this Farrigraph? Arceus also makes sense. Okay. Okay. It's not a great turn one. It is not a great turn one. I'm just gonna say that. Oh, they knock off Smeargle. Wait, no, that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's okay. Speedfall, not that big of a deal because this position's... I mean, I just think this matchup's not great. I don't need my Solvus on Volcanion, so that's probably what I'm going for. Did I ever double retreat? I think I double retreat. Because I'm taking a knockoff plus a extreme speed most likely. Unless they just want to just draw off attacks. But if they Source Dance, this is bad. I mean, I don't really have many answers here, unfortunately. I don't know if they want to get rid of Smeargle because Smeargle can't do much here, but we'll see. Ideally, we can start threatening this Arceus, but Extreme Speed comes out. That's fine. They knock off the Volcanion. Life Orb Arceus. Okay, that's good to know. All right, they did go for a knockoff. That's fine. I'm going to go for the big low kick into Arceus, and I'm going to go for a... any damage into Incin. I guess I just Steam Eruption to Incin. Yeah. They retreat Incin, which is smart. So this is Miraidon? Or Farrig? No, Pow. Oh, for the extreme speed. Oh, boy. This might not be good. But it depends on who they extreme speeded. Did you Terra Ghost or did you Terra Normal? This is probably Terra Normal, right? Okay. Who did you target? This is a really important target. Of who? Extreme speed. Into Dragonite. Okay, I don't live that. I need to burn on Pow if I want to have a chance. Like if I want a small sliver of chance, I need the Steam Eruption burn. Okay, we connect. Okay, we got the burn. That's what I needed. Because if I didn't, it was looking pretty bad there. It was looking pretty bad there. All right, Pow goes down. I think I gotta go Shadow Rider. This is so tough. It depends, because I think like I have to guess between whether they bring out Miraidon or they bring out Incin. If they go Miraidon, then I think my optimal play is to always go Shadow Rider. But if they go... okay, if they went Incin, then my best play was to go Smeargle, so I threatened to Fake Out into Arceus. Okay, this works. Potentially. I still think like I'm losing the long game because I can't see how I'm winning this. Maybe if I get like Terraghost Astral Barrage here. I think I just have to hope Volcanion lives an attack here from the Arceus. And even then, I don't even see how I'm winning this. Yeah, because if I Psychic the Arceus, that doesn't get me much. Yeah, like there's not much I can really do. I just gotta attack. There's really like nothing I can do. Unfortunately, this is literally something I cannot do against. Because I couldn't bring Tatsu because of the extreme speed and the Sucker Punch. Dozo is just like not winning this like against Miraidon. I think this was just like a matchup that's so rough. Like it's possible to win if I KO'd a Miraidon here and then I lived extreme speed, but I don't think I'm living extreme speed with Volcanion, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Volcanion's goated. Okay, if we KO'd a Miraidon, we have a chance. Give me a burn or something. I don't know if we can even win still. Team Eruption? That's a huge burn. Wait. I think I got all that and I still don't know if I win. I still don't know if I win, man. Let's say electric train, that doesn't matter. Man, I don't think extreme speed is gonna be enough. I mean, I think I have to hope that I just lived a knockoff with Shadow Rider. I think that's probably it. Yeah, that's probably it. If I live knockoff, then I can get Smeargle in. Yeah, I just gotta hope that I live. Extreme speed gonna come out and Volcanion takes the knockout. Do I live knockoff from instant is the good question. I mean, Shadow Rider, it's not 4 times effective. I've seen I've seen Shadow Rider live this before, but we'll see. Here comes an Astral. Into the Ensign. It's +1 Terraghost too, so it's doing a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's not enough. Do I live knockoff? No, it wasn't. It was too much. I needed to live the knockoff too in order to do that. It came down really close. I got what I needed. I think, well, I got almost everything I needed. I needed to burn on the POW, but that's like not the worst odds. I probably needed a crit in Arceus, or I just needed a little bit more damage. Was there any way I was able to get like a little bit more damage in Arceus? No, because even if I E-speed with Dragonite, the Arceus outspeeds me and goes for extreme speed first. I just don't think there was. Yeah, like I'm trying to see and I don't think it was enough. I do not think it was enough. Like I got the KO into the Miraidon. I don't even KO Arceus with Fake Out, but like I was losing to knockoff or Flare Blitz. Yeah. Like I needed Calyx to live the knockoff probably. Like I think that was the only way I maybe had a chance there was to live the knockoff. Because otherwise what do I do, right? Because the extreme speed to Volcanion slot, I'm pinned with Smeargle and Volcanion. Both are going down. I could switch out my Shadow Rider into Smeargle, but even if I do that, I get double knocked out, and then it's the same situation of do I live a knockoff, but it's even worse for me, right? So I have to take that gamble. Like I got like some of the stuff, like maybe I had to go for the Heat Wave damage and Heat Wave burn the Qianpao, maybe, because I did need to knock on the Qianpao that turn. Maybe what I could have done was switch out the Dragonite into the Shadow Rider. Maybe I had to go for that. Maybe that was like the only hope. But like there were so many turns, like it just seemed pretty awful matchup wise. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1 was able to knock out the Darkrai turnaround, which was fantastic, but it was Cosmic Power Arceus, which made it really strange. Volcanion wasn't able to hit a move in this game realistically, but thankfully I was able to just isolate the Arceus and then was able to brute force it, especially with the sleep turns that were buying me turns in order to take those knockouts alongside getting the damage into Arceus. In game 2, oh man, another Darkrai, and oh man, another Darkrai that just disappeared as I didn't take any damage in that fight, thanks to me just being able to KO the Darkrai, sporing everything with the Smeargle doing Smeargle things. Then Volcanion was able to come in, Terra Fairy just allowed me to sweep through my opponent's team, and yeah, they just couldn't get an attack off. In game 3, man, Dondozo, I did have to bring in this game, but it was just optimal against the Calyx Ice Rider plus the Koraidon, because otherwise it did seem very tricky for me to be able to actually switch into that combination. Was able to really utilize the Dondozo effectively. They definitely made some interesting decisions with the bonnet, to say the least, as I was just able to really just get rid of the bonnet, pressure a lot of the damage, and then I was just able to run away with the game. In game 4, we faced a team that Ryota used in Regulation I with the Zebstrika, and we have used this team on the channel, but it's been a while, so I did forget a lot of the sets. Volcanion was just really good in this game. However, there were a few things that were threatening, such as the Yvesangelist, the Amoonguss, and of course the Terra Water Zamazenta. Thankfully, we didn't take like the 3 turns of sleep in the end game, and Calyx Shadow Rider didn't get like Thunder Parrot or full parrot into crits as well, so I was able to really just break through. However, that team was a little bit tricky, especially because they were aggressively just going for attacks straight away, which made it more difficult. In game 5, it was interesting to see Mew, especially with the transform. I don't think I really got the most amazing turn 1 at all, but thankfully it just ended up being a really weird moody Smeargle game, and it came down to some spores, but I felt like I was able to pilot around. Once I saw the Imprison, I'm like, yeah, they're probably the transform set. I called it correctly, was able to go to Dragonite, have a very fantastic position from there, and once I was able to set up Volcanion next to Smeargle, it was really hard for my opponent to stop. In game 6, I'm just gonna say this matchup looked really difficult. I would have had to make every single, and I mean every single hard read, and it's not even guaranteed that like it puts me in a good spot. The fact that it was really aggressive, I still had to deal with potential for a mind game, but I was like pretty confident they didn't bring it, so at least I got that right. But I had to call like, okay, who was switching into a normal type right there, and unfortunately I did get it wrong, and maybe I could have just like gotten a huge fake out, for instance, in an Incineroar, and preserved my sash on Smeargle. But yeah, it was super tricky. Like Volcanion tried its best, especially with the Steam Eruption. I guess that makes up for the game 1 where it couldn't hit its moves, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. I would have needed probably a crit as well on top of the burn on the Arceus in order to be able to win that one. So how was the team? I think it is very aggressive. I mean, that's how the team plays. You have like Sash, Smeargle mind games with Moody. You also have the Choice Picks Calyx, which you have to lock into the correct move, or it's really rough, especially with Choice Mons. No protect at all on this team other than Dondozo, so you really can't really reposition with this team as effectively. So you really have to get the calls right, or you're just in a terrible spot. But Volcanion was actually pretty decent. It was, other than the game 1, where it wasn't able to really connect its attacks, it did do pretty well into some of our opponents today, especially like the Kyogre matchup, where it was really difficult. The Terra Fairy was also pretty cool as well. It was able to tank attacks, it was able to fire back some pretty solid damage across the board, and yeah, it was a pretty cool mon to see, especially since I have played in doubles OU with this mon. It was cool bringing it back. If you would like to try out the team, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below, and of course subscribe to the channel for more doubles and VGC content as always.